why have you got us here today?
Okay, guys, thank you everybody for coming here today. Uh, Here we are in Bay Bulls, and we've got the three stators and all of the transformers for Soldiers Pond and Muskrat Falls. I just wanted to acknowledge what a critical milestone the delivery of this equipment is to site is for the project and for the company. The delivery of this equipment really culminates all of the engineering and manufacturing work that has been done to date as we move towards installation of this equipment on site, final commissioning, and delivering power to our customers and people and businesses of Newfoundland and Labrador. If you look on behind me here, the cylindrical piece of equipment is one of the stators. As I said, there's three of them. The stators are half of the synchronous motor, which is a free spinning motor, which comprises the synchronous condenser. The purpose of the synchronous condenser at Soldiers Pond is to maintain stability and reliability of the system through adjustments during operations. The stators themselves are approximately 205 tons, and they'll be delivered over the coming week via Southside Road, Witless Bay, and onto the transition compound, to the Trans-Canada Highway, and then into Soldiers Pond. So all three of the stators will be delivered to Soldiers Pond over the coming week.
Can you explain again what they do?
So, as I said, there's three synchronous condensers at Soldiers Pond. So as part of that synchronous condenser, there's two parts: the stators that you see here, and the rotors that we'll see afterwards up in the warehouse. They effectively maintain that they're a free spinning synchronous motor that means stability in the system during operations.
And what will they mean for power generation? Will they help secure backup power, or?
So not backup power, but they're a critical component to ensure stability in the electrical grid during operations throughout the life cycle of the entire project.
And the transformers?
So the transformers, as you see here, these are the transformers for Soldiers Pond and for Muskrat Falls. There's 6 going to each site, or 7 going to each site, 6 in one spare. They are approximately 175 tons, and they are the critical electrical connections between the DC transmission system bringing power from Muskrat Falls and the AC distribution system that brings power to your homes.
So they're like giant adapters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, more or less. They transform the voltage change between the DC system that we use to transmit the power, 1,100 kilometers from Muskrat Falls to St. John's, and then, as I said, the AC to the AC distribution system that goes into your homes.
How much do they cost?
A lot. Yeah.
More than $1 million?
No. These are all high-value, critical pieces of equipment for the HVdc transmission link. The converter transformers themselves will be installed at both Muskrat Falls and at Soldiers Pond. And as I said, they're critical pieces of infrastructure as we strive to deliver power to the people of Newfoundland and Labrador.
How are you doing with schedules? Are you on schedule, behind schedule, ahead?
Currently the schedule of Q2 2018 is still intact, and we're still on schedule to meet that date. Over the coming weeks, delivery of the 14 transformers and the 3 stators and the 3 rotors is going to be a critical milestone in meeting that schedule.
When do you hope to have all that work done?
So the stators will be transported over the next couple of weeks. The rotors will follow the couple of weeks after that, and what you'll find is that the transformers will be delivered to Soldiers Pond over the next month or so. They're transported one by one. The transportation permits are in place. Any line lifts or road closures that are required are also in place and organized. The stators are a more complicated transport because of their width, and they'll be done at night, whereas the transformers are a more standard transport, and they'll be done during the day via trailer.
You hoping for the first move tonight?
We're hoping for the first move tonight. We're hoping to move the first stator starting late this evening to be transported overnight. The transportation should take about 4 to 6 hours, and we're hoping by tomorrow morning we'll have the first stator on site in Soldiers Pond.
And were they completely done here? Were they assembled here? Did all the parts come from?
So all of the stators and rotors were built by GE Power in their facility in Sorel-Tracy, Quebec, whereas the transformers, which were provided by GE Grid, were built in Brazil, and they were built in Stafford in England at their facility.
And so what part of it happens here? Just the move, or there's...
Yeah, this is effectively the receiving point. They've come a long way, and there's been a long process through engineering and manufacturing of these. This is really the culmination of all of these pieces of equipment being delivered to one central location so that we can then deliver them to Soldiers Pond. So most of the work happened in, as I said, the UK, Brazil, and Quebec, and now they've all been received here to be finally transported on to Soldiers Pond.
With the ice conditions, when do you expect to get the ones up to Labrador that you need to get up there?
So as you know, we had intended to move the 7 transformers late last year to Cartwright, but because of the protests, we had to delay that because of risk to the asset. With the impending Labrador sea ice and of course the winter weather conditions, we're still currently assessing when we'll be able to transport those. But it is critical that we do get those to site as soon as possible, and we are assessing that at the moment.
Now the move finally along the highway, are you anticipating any problems, or any special arrangements aside from closing certain sections down?
I mean, we've got public service advisories out. We've got tweets, Facebook. We're on the radio. We've been trying to communicate with the local community as much as possible. As I said, the stators are a more complicated transport, so they'll be done at night. So we're trying to do everything possible to try to minimize the impact on the community.
Okay, anything we missed that you think you should do?
The only thing I would say, and it's safety is very much at the forefront of everything that we're doing here. It's our number one focus for the project, and that applies to the transportation of all this equipment as well. So we'll have safety personnel and a safety focus on this transportation from start to finish to make sure that there's no impact to the people and